Should be topic number 2 tonight. Says, is Wazungu just hating, or is this the new try-hard African prince ship? That's an interesting. That's a very interesting topic given there. But this takes us to YouTube. Let's see. I'll play it a few times because it looks like it might not be in English. I'll play it a few times and then we'll discuss it.
Pack and a tiny waist that helps them look even leaner. But here's the twist. A bunch of them have been spotted living the luxurious life. Word is, they're spinning their village tales to sell fans their fitness programs.
If you want this, just click the link under my bio.
And get this. There are even accusations flying around that some are using their African genetics as a cover-up for their alleged steroid use.
Of course, I'm an African. Okay, not just an African. Where I'm from, the genetic is crazy.
I'm sure you recognize some of these jacked African fitness gurus working out in the dirt, lifting sticks and rocks, and munching on fruits and veggies because they can't afford protein or pricey gym memberships in their remote villages.
The financial struggle over here, it's real. It's not even encouraging enough for us to be buying like normal proteins, definitely steroids.
They all claim to be 100% natural, and they have killer physiques. Even guys on steroids can't match. Big round delts, a massive six-pack, and a tiny waist that helps them look even leaner. But here's the twist. A bunch of them have been spotted living the luxurious life. Word is, they're spinning their village tales to sell fans their fitness programs.
If you want this, just click the link under my bio.
And get this. There are even accusations flying around that some are using their African genetics as a cover-up for their alleged steroid use.
Of course, I'm an African. Okay, not just an African. Where I'm from, the genetic is crazy.
I'm sure you recognize some of these jacked African fitness gurus working out in the dirt, lifting sticks and rocks, and munching on fruits and veggies because they can't afford protein or pricey gym memberships in their remote villages.
The financial struggle over here, it's real. It's not even encouraging enough for us to be buying like normal proteins, definitely steroids.
They all claim to be 100% natural, and they have killer physiques. Even guys on steroids can't match. Big round delts, a massive six-pack, and a tiny waist that helps them look even leaner. But here's the twist. A bunch of them have been spotted living the luxurious life. Word is, they're spinning their village tales to sell fans their fitness programs.
If you want this, just click the link under my bio.
And get this. There are even accusations flying around that some are using their African genetics as a cover-up for their alleged steroid use.
Of course, I'm an African. Okay, not just an African. Where I'm from, the genetic is crazy.
I'm sure you recognize some of these jacked.
Yeah, if anyone knows how to start those shorts from the beginning, let me know. What it takes to start them from the beginning. One of the things that came up in this that I find very laughable. In America here, what you would notice on the Instagrams and Twitters and Facebooks of the world, you would have a woman who's already born with just a gorgeous body, right? And then they'll go and, naturally, good-looking body. And then they'll go and start doing some workouts. And next thing you know, they're selling their fitness regimen. When in reality, they don't even really do it, that stuff. But they have a nice body. The worst one is the women who go and get a BBL, which we've discussed several women on this platform getting BBLs. And then they'll go and talk about, they'll put up some videos where they're working out in the gym and allege that it's the gym that's doing it. And then, of course, they're selling their thing, come and join my plan, blah, blah, blah. I'm sure a few of you are familiar with what I'm talking about. In the chat, some of you are having a good time with it. Trigger Happy 262 Plus says of a Ghanaian woman, a South African woman is selling a workout plan. It's a scam. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, you see this out here, but this white boy in the video, just to get back to that, clearly hating. You could hear it in his voice. Clearly hating. With that said, RBG, what say you to it?
Okay, can you hear me? All right. Look, I'll be brief. Look, it's either like a 95% chance that, you know what I'm saying, motherfuckers are just, you know what I'm saying, eating right, you know what I'm saying, exercise their muscles, and that's what happens. Your shit gets well defined. I mean, you know what I'm saying, I ain't going to speak too much on it. You know what I'm saying? They look healthy. You know what I'm saying? I can imagine, you know what I'm saying, steroids is cheap. You know what I'm saying? 5% might try to, you know what I'm saying? But, you know what I'm saying, black folks say ain't like that. You know, come on, man. I mean, I can only imagine. I mean, it could be some, you know what I'm saying, people do cheat. But I mean, naturally, I think, you know what I'm saying, that, you know what I'm saying, they look healthy. They don't look, you know what I'm saying, they don't look, you know what I'm saying, you see, I mean, steroids having people look a little off. You know what I'm saying? If you're young and these people look young, and you're in your 20s, you can look right. You know what I'm saying? So more power to them. I'm gonna pass the mic.
Appreciate that, RBG. Let me hear from Buana this time. Buana, what's it?
I think that little devil was hating, and I think that Razuli hating a little bit too because he's jealous. Because he wants to get Brolic. Well, I would say this. If brothers could go to prison, they go to prison. They learn prison exercises, and they create a narrative where you have a little system where you do it every day, and then you after maybe 5 years you get brought like you have a nice body and you eating horrible food because they don't serve you good food in prison. So if you have a routine and it's sellable to the world, I can't get mad at a guy who leaves prison and then goes on YouTube and sells that system and how he got fit to the rest of the world. Because that might be a service that people would want to buy. In the same vein, how could I hate on the Nigerian brothers who create a system in the back of Nigeria? In the back of Nigeria, now they want to sell it to the world as a service to get your body in shape. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? They have the brothers in New York City. I watch this guy all the time called Brawley Gaines. I watch him very, very closely. And how he does it, he goes to the parks and he works in the jungle gyms and he does little different kinds of exercise. He exposes it to people. Now he has 1 million subscribers. He making a good coin off of him exposing the world to what the brothers do on a daily basis in Brooklyn and different parts of New York City. And if he creates a system where people want to pay for that service, how is that a scam? How is that a scam? I don't see these guys personally going out and taking steroids. Why are we assuming these things about our brothers? I'm not gonna do that. And even if they was doing it, I don't have nothing to say. I don't have nothing to say. I'm just saying that wouldn't be a good thing. But what I'm saying is that if these brothers, them creating a service that people are willing to purchase, even in Nigeria, because Nigerians could find an exercise program that'll get the body fit in other parts of the world, and people may want to buy that. Well, why are we hating on the fact that they want to sell that for a couple of dollars? We do it in the Western world all the time. All of a sudden, it's a Nigerian scam. Come on, man. Come on, man. Let's not follow the devils. That's what I say. Don't follow the devils. Let them brothers and make their money. Because if it was us, we would want to make our money too. I also, it was this brother named Hannibal for something. I can't remember exactly what it is. Hannibal something in New York City, where he would just primarily work in the jungle gyms, in the parks. And he had a fit body too. People didn't attribute his body to steroids. Nah, man, I think that's unfair to say that these guys are on steroids. I think that this devil is just hating. They probably took his girlfriend or something like that on a 419 scam. But I think that kudos to these brothers. They are very fit and they selling the service to the rest of the world. If people want to buy it, I say, salute to these brothers. I'll stop there.
Appreciate that, Buana. With that said, Black Steel, what say you?
So to me, there's no evidence that shows that they're doing anything like he's talking about. They're working out, they're in shape. I don't know. Are they taking steroids? I don't know. It could be they are taking steroids, but the idea this man is saying they're selling a workout routine where they're using steroids. It's funny because on one hand he says they can't afford gym memberships and expensive equipment, but they can afford steroids though. I don't know. That seems almost like an oxymoron. So they can't afford gym members, but they can't afford steroids. So can it be these men are just in shape? They eat healthy, they eat right. Their food does not have the level of toxicity, the level of preservatives and other additives that they have in the Western world. I believe that's also a factor as well. Um, but yeah, just from his voice and in the narration, the dude sounds like a hater. Um, Shout out to these men. You know, they're doing more than I'm doing. I need to be out here working, get my physique back. But yeah, so other than that, you know, I doubt they're on steroids. Again, they had the money or the access to these steroids. I seriously don't understand that. And I hope, excuse me, I hope everything works out for them. I don't think it's a scam. I have no idea. I'm not. I mean, the whole thing about doing workouts next to zebras and giraffes is kind of funny to me. But anyways, yeah, the dude's just being a hater. And he's just upset because he needs the steroids. He needs the expensive gym membership to build a physique like this. He can't naturally build this physique. So it just sounds like somebody who's just not a fan. But I'll leave it there. I'll leave my thoughts on
Hey,
this. Go ahead.
Carl, they think we need them. They think that we can't be perfect in doing the shit we do without them. Ngannou came from where, the Congo, the deepest part of the African whatever, and he ended up kicking everybody ass in the Western world. Usain Bolt learned how to run in Jamaica, eating patty and shit. You know what I mean? And then started winning races, and everybody, oh, he must be on some steroids. It's like we can't do nothing without their interference of them teaching us how to do the shit. But I get tired of these guys' arguments, man. I really get tired of them, you know?
And let's be honest, the African has always been the superior physical specimen. That's been a fact since antiquity. They know it, we know it. That's part of the reason why they wanted us for their enslavement in the very beginning, is because physically we are superior to them as a whole. There's more genetic diversity on the African continent than the rest of the world. So they understand that the African people are our genetic stock is superior to that of any other people on the planet. So the idea that we can't do this without additional help, that's what stings. That's what bothers them in the end. But I'll leave it there. Thank you.
Appreciate it, Black Steel. Let me shout out Brother Bakari, who's in the chat. He said peace and black power. Also, let me shout out Sister Raw. She came in earlier, and I forgot to shout her out. If I forgot anyone else, by all means, let me know that you're here. But Bakari in the chat says, not enough veins showing for steroids. Look up bodybuilding contests, and you see the difference in these men and bodybuilders. Trigger Happy and KW Don 7 point out that Ngannou is from Cameroon. Pro Black Perspective in the chat says that this makes him want to exercise. So I hope you click the link that they have in the description, and you too can receive the plan that they received. In the meantime, though, let's hear what the Pro Black Perspective has to say on the topic. Only you have the floor.
Yeah, I agree with Damn, I'm agreeing with this really. But yeah, if they Nigerian, they probably scam me. You know what I'm saying? But beyond that, I don't know. At first I was like, maybe the white boy onto something, but you know, I was looking into Brawley Gaines. Apparently he's not that heavy though. He's only 160 pounds. But yeah, and apparently he don't do any protein powders or nothing, you know? So yeah, I mean, obviously you can, and I know that there's these people in there's like this group of people in Africa who they like underwater or something. Like they go under, they go swimming and they like, I don't know, collect rocks underwater or some shit. These dudes is fit, you know, like they just muscle. So yeah, it's possible, but I wouldn't be surprised if folk is scamming, because you know, on the real, what are you pulling out a camera for? You know what I mean? Like what are you on YouTube for? If not, like, I'm not saying everybody on YouTube scamming, but it just like what Razuli said. You know, if you Nigerian and you pull out a camera, you know, no disrespect to Nigeria, but like on the real, and a lot of people do this too, because like I said, I never listened to the whole thing, but there's this guy named Party, and he was talking about Meg the Stallion, and he's like, Meg the Stallion went out and got some lipo or some shit like that, you know, and this is like, you know, an entertainer who's, you know, active and working out and all that shit, but she's, you know, flexing it like she wasn't, you know, taking no surgery. Now I don't know, some people are doubting whether he was, you know, some people are doubting whether or not she had or not, but what I'm saying is that a lot of people fake the funk for the internet, you know, because it's a way to you know, so on and so forth. But like Vaughn said, Brawley is like Brawley is fit, and he is like legit doing his stuff right in front of you. And of course, you know, a lot of other people could be fit without any sort of thing. But you know, I wouldn't be surprised if some people, at least, like for instance, some of these physiques are, you know, things that normally people don't achieve. You know what I'm saying? Just saying that way. But that's all I can say. I don't know. I mean, obviously the white boys hating, but you know, I don't know. I'd be open to see. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if there was a scammer or two. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think I agree with only 100% there. I think, yeah, and it's not about this is another thing too. It's not about only seeing the negative in your own people or always seeing the negative in your own people. I just know of folks who pull this type of stuff. Like right now, Razuli and I know a woman. We've known this woman since she had to be like a teenager, you know, from college. For a lot of years, she's had a few kids over the years now. But for a lot of years, she was on this very strict vegan diet. And she recently got off of it, as well as got out of a long-term relationship, etc. And her body has come back to what it was when we first knew her. And this same lady, a nice young lady, is now selling, you know, she's selling her gym packages for people to sign up. And I'm looking at this shit like, yo, but you always had this going on. The only thing that changed was you went on that strict, and when I say strict, I'm talking about like no bread, no, you know, almost no damn solid food type thing, right? So because I know that it happens, yeah, I tend to look at a lot of this stuff. You see Azuliism in the chat laughing. You know exactly what I'm talking about. But because I know that these things happen, I will look at certain things with a little skepticism. Now, like Oni said, why the camera? But again, if you're selling something, I guess you'll have your cameras up. I don't know that these guys are scamming, just to be clear. And it's kind of hard to scam these type of body types, right, without actually doing work, I would imagine. But I'm just saying that we do know, and we see it all the time on Twitter and whatnot, we do know these women in particular who sell these workout regimens, and they don't work out, man. Would anyone else like to leave a last word here? All right.
Yes, I would like to leave a last word. The internet is full of people offering services. They are doing their marketing thing. The Nigerian brothers are doing their marketing thing. They selling the service of fitness. They may have a service plan or where you could do a little push-ups or whatever. People willing to pay $20 for it. I can't be mad at that because everybody on the internet offering a service. Now, if that service is not effective, then eventually they'll go out of business. But what is the difference between these guys selling the service of fitness as any other person who's selling the same kind of service? Why are we attributing scamming to the Nigerian brothers. Yeah, maybe the Nigerian brothers will earn that, earn the title of being scammers. But I'm saying that if it don't work, then they'll go out of business. You know, you move on. But everybody else is selling a service. They have commodified their expertise in the exercise arena, and the people willing to pay for black brothers ain't gonna pay for that service. Or a bunch of white boys in Minnesota and Idaho gonna pay for that service. If they become rich off of it, how can I be mad at that? You know, that's how they choose to get money. What are we selling? We need to be selling. What is really selling? Because he need to be selling some voodoo around the world to some whoever need to sell it to. And you use the money. Because like I every day I tell the brothers, we are in a competition, whether we realize it or not. Maybe not necessarily in a physical one where we fight with one another, but we in an economic competition with the rest of the world. And we need to get on in this economic game. These brothers have chosen to participate in the economic game in using fitness. But what are we selling to the world? Only say he have stuff what he's selling in Africa. We need to be producers to sell a product to the world, and where we need to turn that money over and do something in terms of our community that's beneficial to our community. So I'm mad at them, man. You call them scammers, call them whatever you want to call them, man. You know, I'm mad at them. I'm mad at them at all. I'll stop there.
All right, appreciate that. Azuli, just to be clear, he says, I'm not mad at them, though. F that white boy. So he's not mad at them in particular. I'm not, I have no ill will towards these guys. All I'm saying is that there's some scamming that goes on, right, around this fitness thing, and we see it. We see it. And unfortunately, it's not only Whitey who's being scammed. I wouldn't mind if it was just them being scammed, right? Let's go to Shooter Breeze topic number 3 tonight.